I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
This is bizarre.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
Wow. He's so sad. Good times. I wonder if the bit... Oh, they just have the picture of the two doors like twice. No, 3 times. Oh, 5 times. There's 2 of them sneaky up there. 1951. What does that mean? Wow. The Stanley Parable's first dollar? It's impossible to get this achievement. Go outside, don't play for 5 years. I've already seen that there's an achievement for not playing for 10 years. That's freaking nuts. I can't wait for 2032 to come around. This creator's surprisingly down to earth. Little Stanley? Is that a little rat? I love it. I love Little Stanley.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Stanley writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Is the narrator gonna go? Oh, there's the Minecraft. Is the narrator gonna go crazy and just like try to make? Is he gonna try to make more game in spite of the DLC or extra content? Oh, look at all that! Is that freaking Hammer? I think that's Hammer. Wow. It's just a museum. It's cute. I like it. Top 10 memories of the Stanley Parable. I remember only just seeing this game.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
Thank you for spending 20... The serious room. It's the serious room! Beautiful. When you cheated and tried to no-clip, it'd send you to the serious room.
These were simpler times, Stanley. But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no.
Steam
reviews. A collection of
reviews.
reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years.
Oh,
I can't
God.
even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Just giant shipping containers. Not recommended. I like how the recommended one is blurred
Play
out.
this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining.
You're stupid.
I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Look at all the Steam reviews. There's so many. More like a steaming pile of poopy reviews, maybe. What's in here? Oh no, a bunch of them are blurred out. Ooh.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You
Oh.
can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
No.
Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down.
You can't
Perhaps
please
the
Jeremy.
Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remember.
Oh, you can't please everybody. Some people are dicks and they don't know how to enjoy stuff. I don't know why I couldn't pass through there. That was weird.
What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have. And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices are what happened, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore
Do I press the button or do I let him finish?
Blah, 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 blah,
He's
blah,
looping,
blah,
okay,
blah,
so I have to
blah,
skip
blah,
him.
blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet. Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of... Well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Ooh. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but Well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. Stanley! Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer. And my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone.
The door is
I've
gone.
looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times. And there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button. And if you keep pressing it, I have no idea what will happen. Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time, just sitting here, not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving.
Yeah.
It was the vessel I needed, Stanley.
You need someone to talk to, lonely person.
None of that matters anymore. I'll give it all up. I'll give up every branching path. I'll burn my story to the ground. One single thing I need, and God, I can see now that I need it more than anything, is to know that someone else is taking it in.
I'm taking it in.
These words that I'm saying, I need to know you can hear me. Because maybe, Stanley, maybe, if you can hear me, then maybe it means I'm real. Maybe I'm not just a fiction. Was I scared of that all along? Perhaps, yes. Perhaps I've been scared this whole time.
Wouldn't his rants stop after he notices that I'm frozen in time?
I can't be taken by it, Stanley. I can't lose myself in the stretch of emptiness. Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing.
Oh God, he's gone. Oh God, he's gone. Press it one more time. He's not talking. Oh man, that's sad. Oh, one more time.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability. It's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromised...
Okay. Is this just gonna go on forever? Because holy crap, I pushed the button so much.
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
And if only the door was there.
The end is never the end, is never the end, is never...
I'm kind of getting scared. It's kind of getting spooky in here. It's a little too spooky for me. Oh, Lord. I feel like we're going to die in here. Am I just skipping forward in time over and over until eventually I can get out? Light. Oh my gosh, the narrator's probably been dead for years now. Oh wow, pretty. Oh, it's desolate again. What the hell? What's happening? The clock's underneath a brick now. It's getting spooky. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Jesus Christ. A way out. Oh no. Nothing exists anymore. Everything is dead. Oh no. Oh, you know what? Maybe the button was just going forward more and more and he did notice, but it wasn't. It's a set amount of time because he's not talking anymore. Oh, I can't even touch it anymore. This is the end of the line. It's a little bit terrifying. New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you. You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that
Of course.
legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2.
What?
Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many
Taste of the
possibilities.
sequel.
It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I mean, this was partially what I was expecting, but like, is it really?
Calling
Or
it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
I'm not gonna lie, that logo looks freaking dope as hell. Oh, they tried to do the Resident Evil thing where you have the Roman numerals inside the title. Wait, are these making fun of a whole bunch of different ones? Because I think that second one looks familiar, and like it's typing. I think there's another game that has its...
Now, to be clear,
that looks like
I haven't
that
quite nailed down
font.
what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
2 eyes,
I
2
figure
ears.
that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out.
Yeah.
Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Oh, like, the fact that video games even exist is a freaking miracle in of itself. I gotta go along the ropes. What would a Stanley Parable 2 even be about? What's he doing?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Merch. Hear my name in the game?
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want?
Road to the
And
perfect
of course,
button. Too big.
first and most obvious
Small
answer
just right.
is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
Jim.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim
Oh, yeah,
to
yeah,
really
of course.
simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim. I want you to imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble into dust. Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now?
I'm Jim.
If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Here I go, Jim. Jim go and Jim do Jim things. Oh, this button looks like it will say my name. Oh, there's no way it could possibly know what my name is.
Yes, you see? What a thrill, what a rush. That was you. The button described you. Do it again.
No!
Jim.
It hits even harder the second time. If this were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation.
You sure? Oh, one more time.
Oh there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of
no.
who you actually are.
Jim.
He took the Jim button away. Darn it. There was like a half second where I was like, do I mind if it like takes information from my computer and says my real name out loud? Because that would be funny.
I suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature.
No. Please no screen. Please no screenshots. It didn't seem to mind. The baby is all grown up. The fire is bankruptcy. I'm just gonna take a bunch of screenshots. I hope the game doesn't mind. What's over here? I like that number 2. It's cute. Epilogue.
An epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it would go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
It's the jump circle again.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
It will give me back my jumps? Are you serious? Infinite hole. I'm gonna get this easy achievement. Let's go. What's this? Get yours now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps. It just works.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
Collect them all. What the?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
This is terrifying, actually. There's 6 of them?
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Please no screenshots. I'm gonna take so many screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Happy 12th birthday, step-niece, it is.
I know that feeling. I've asked people to help me make a decision, and then immediately after someone answers, I realize that I know what the answers
Or actually,
is.
maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision, we're moving on.
Oh wait, I missed the reassurance bucket? I gotta see the reassurance bucket.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And
Give me the bucket.
It's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Thanks.
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
I got a bucket now. All right.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I don't know. I think all I have to do is go down the infinite hole, which is probably based on what's in so far is probably not actually infinite.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
I mean...
You
Oh.
see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
I am actually falling
Since
down.
you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward. Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
It's not
Do it on
infinite.
a sooner rather than later spectrum.
It's not infinite, is it? There's gonna be a bottom. It's not done yet. I got a bucket, though.
Okay, Stanley. I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little
Hey,
heated there. I
hey,
think we
this is
both
why we
said
test
some
things.
we didn't
You don't have
mean.
to lie to me.
Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole most...
It is pretty fucking deep.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready.
Okay, well, it depends if you're gonna say something about me not immediately pressing the button. Huh? Nah, he's done.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel. Oh, for heaven... You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you
I
did before.
did.
I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite.
Yeah, it was
Well,
really
I
short
suppose
this
once
time.
again, there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button.
Well,
and
now I'm
come join me
curious.
up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about.
Yeah.
And I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
Yeah.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yeah. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite.
Yeah.
I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Yeah, that's what I've been
There
doing.
it is. The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Oh, I actually still have to teleport. Uh-oh.
Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment. Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the whole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
But I gotta
I
buy
hope you and the whole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
What was that? What is happening? Perception. Okay. It's just maybe it is infinite. Change reality. Oh, that's terrifying. Oh. I don't like that.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine. My head's stronger. Now you're no longer using up this space of mine.
I'm upside down. Oh, Lord. Oh. That's terrifying. I'm so strong. Space.
Stanley? Stanley? Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
We're already starting again. Oh, it's the end. I don't see anything else that I can do, so I guess the only thing to do is to head towards the exit. Unless there's something I'm missing.
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know
pretty good.
it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of Okay, never mind.
The epilogue is
Hold
just
on.
duct
Let me
taped
do a
onto it.
different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
There's two
my
infinite
goodness,
holes.
This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of
Oh,
gags.
the jump
And I
circle
do
is
very much
on
enjoy
this
creating
hole.
gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait,
Yeah.
maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original
Is
game.
that the reveal? Is that what's gonna happen?
Well, I suppose it could, but it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Whoa. What the hell? What is it? Am I taking crazy pills or something?
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change
I
Stanley.
love this.
Something he would
This is
never quite
freaking
forget.
great.